Good evening, everybody. Welcome to FMA Discussion. This is episode 180, and tonight we have our guest, Guru Francis Serrano. And thank you, sir. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me, Dean. I appreciate it.
Yeah. No, I'm glad we were able to make this happen. I know you recently just started posting content in FMA Discussion, but I've been enjoying it. I think they've been great posts.
Thank you.
Further investigation into your those two channels there. I think there's some great stuff there, which we're going to cover tonight. And
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yeah. And before that, the great Doug Mercada is who actually recommended you to come on. So we have to give Doug a big thanks.
Thanks, Doug. Thank you. I definitely will.
Yeah, and all that. So
Felix is online. He says hello. Hey, Felix, brother, how's it going, man?
Oh yeah, good guy.
Yeah.
So listen, we're gonna jump into it. We got a lot of stuff we're gonna cover here. Your background, teaching, your channels.
Sure. Where do you want to start?
Yeah. So, okay, you first start in FMA. Like, who, when, and where? What age and where and what style?
Okay, so officially, I would say when I started looking for a Filipino martial arts program, this was before Google and Yelp and YouTube was invented. So, I had this thing called the Yellow Pages. And, these
ask people that today, they're like, Yellow Pages? What's that?
Exactly. That was the original Google. Anyway, but there was no subcategory of Filipino martial arts. So in Orange County, grew up in Orange County, I tried to find a school. I couldn't find one until and then I remembered I had a business trip in Virginia. And while in Virginia, my cousins took me to New York for the weekend. And while we were there, they took me to this, in Chinatown, if I remember correctly, a martial arts supply store. And there I bought, they had Professor Remy Presas' videos. Right, so VHS. But the unfortunate thing is they only had volumes 3 and volumes 5. I don't know what happens to volumes 1, 2, and 4. I don't know if there was one more after 5, but all I had was volumes 3 and volumes of 5. Hey, Eric. So that's all I pretty much had. So I remember putting in the VHS tape, and then Professor Remy Presas was like, "Okay, now we're gonna do this. We're like this and like that," and I'm like, I have no idea what you're doing. No, I mean, it's just there's definitely the fundamentals was taught on the first 2 videos. The third one I had no idea. So I put the 5th one in, the volume 5 one, and I got even more lost. And I'm just like, God, this is frustrating. And then one day I had a house party, and then some friends that came over, and then they saw my sticks in my hallway closet, and they said, "What are these?" I said, They're Olisi or sticks, if you like to call them. And they said they wanted to see it. And I said, sure, but be careful. They're not toys. They're weapons. And then they started twirling it. I'm like, oh, they know, right? So I'm like, please introduce me to your teacher. Please, I'm begging you. And it's like, you don't have to beg, bro. It's all good. And so they introduced me to Guru Henry Kabillion. And and to this day, he's still one of my teachers. I'm still one of his students.
Wow.
So that was back in 1998.
98. So what age?
I was 18, 19-ish. So
18, 19, 1998.
Yeah.
You absolutely go see him.
Right.
By virtue of your friends.
Yes.
And what style was it?
It was we were Doce Pares multi-style system.
Doce Pares. When you say Doce Pares multi-style, how is that different than, I guess, from maybe like Kakoi's?
So Kakoi's style is more. Excuse me. No disrespect to Supreme Grandmaster Kakoi, rest in peace. His style is more corto corbada, where if the
short curving.
Right, exactly. But a very close range. Well, Supreme Grandmaster Diony Cañete, his nephew's style is the multi-style, where they teach you the Abecedario movement, so more of a media and long range of fighting, as well as, of course, they do have quarter range fighting as well. I was more in the branch of the Diony Cañete lineage when I first started.
Okay. No, interesting. Just because, I know the two kind of, there, and I know there were differences, but Yeah, I had several years into I just never chose to get ranked, but mine was definitely Don Cuesta, Kakoi,
Yeah,
Gabata, close. You know, you're bouncing the stick basically off their body and where you're trying to open.
actually, Don Cuesta, Grandmaster Don Cuesta was under the Dione lineage.
Okay,
He,
so both then. Okay,
yeah,
both.
I'm sure they trained. He trained with both because they were probably at 1.1 year.
No, you matter of fact, when Don Cuesta used to come up to Connecticut, he made a point of saying that he did train, you know,
Right,
with Kakoi, you know, that really nice man,
right.
Don really, really just, he's in New Jersey now. I haven't seen him but he was just such a wonderful man.
Well, I mean, because I also trained in modified Corto Kakoi style, Grandmaster Kakoi style as well. So, hey everybody.
Yeah.
So everybody's saying hi to me.
Oh yeah, folks, if you're watching, please tell us where you're watching from and smash that like button. We got Felix, we got Eric O'Brien from Florida, and Patrick and Jeremy. All right, and so all right, so you finally meet him. You're going to train. What'd you think of the initial experience? I mean,
I pretty much thought it was awesome. I was like, this is me. This was when it's like when Guru Henry first met me. I didn't feel any judgment from him. He just like, okay, yeah, come train, right? And that was it. And unfortunately, being a big person, when I was researching, looking for FMA programs, I walk into a martial arts studio, I'm already getting the looks. It's like, hey, Chris, I'm already getting the look of like, oh man, it's like I guess like if I took like a ground style fighting, and then I raise my hand, nobody wants to partner up with me because I'm the big kid. So, but I did not feel that with Guru Henry, and
awesome.
I just started training. I just started training, and then eventually I was brought into Chief Joe Napiel, which is Guru Henry's teacher, right?
Okay.
I trained with him, and then that took. Hey Chad, what's up, brother? That took my FMA to the whole new level, and then but they're still my teachers to this day. So to this day, they're my brothers, they're my family. So I'm very blessed to be part of. Now we're called Visayas Legacy Association. So we kind of branched off on our own. We're no longer associated with Dos Equipos multi-style system. We're on our own entity now.
Okay, is that you personally in your group, or also your people as well?
I'm a subsect of Visayas Legacy. My group is FMA school or Filipino martial arts school. So
gotcha. Okay. So then are there any other styles? I mean, obviously you're still with them as you indicated, and you're still training that. Did you venture into any other system styles?
Well, yeah. I mean, I got a chance to work with Jomar Obejas. From Rapido Realissimo Cali when I was in the Philippines. So we worked out a lot. We worked out a lot. And then I briefly worked with Guru Roland Isla of Mandirigma, Cali, or what's that? Oh my goodness, I'm drawing a blank. But yeah, Guru Roland Isla in his style. A student of Grandmaster Jun De Leon. So.
Those two names have come up. I'm trying to get a hold of Jun De Leon to come on as Roland as well as Roland. Those two names have come up several times as far as interviews.
Yeah. So, it's amazing. It's just I got a chance to work with them. And I got to meet some of the Luneta Park masters there and instructors there, and I got to work with them a little bit. Very respectful. Kind of stuff. It was and then now I'm also training under Supreme Grandmaster Val Pableo of his Amara Fighting Concepts. So I'm that's already starting to get into the mix of everything as well.
Wow. So the Rapido, that's under Maestro Henry Esfera, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That I know we've been trying to get them on, but the internet over there is just anything but
It's spotty at best. Yes.
Yeah. So but Henry's top student there, I'm drawing a blank on his name right now.
Bon, I think Igbani Bon, I think.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yep. Yeah.
So,
But his internet is. But I've definitely been trying. Definitely would love to hear from those guys.
absolutely.
Yeah. So, okay, 9 years old. You leave Philippines. You come here.
Yes.
Obviously, you're simulating America, school, whole 9 yards, train here. But now you go back to the Philippines.
Right. In 2008, I moved back to the Philippines.
Okay, so before we get into it, like, was there a reason why you moved there, or what was the?
Yes, bottom line here is that I actually am going to seminary school now. But back in 2008, that's when I decided to follow the call of the Lord 100%. And I was being called to the Philippines.
Okay.
I felt like I was being drawn to, that's where God was leading me. So I sold my business that I had at the time. I was a marketing consultant. I sold, pretty much everything I owned, and I moved to the Philippines. When that call happened, I'm like, there was no hesitation on my voice, absolutely none, because the school. I mean, the great thing about the field that I'm getting into, ministry, right, is that in the United Methodist Church, which is my denomination, as long as you go to a certified seminary school of the United Methodist Church, it doesn't matter if it's the United States or the Philippines, right? With the Philippines, it's like exponentially cheaper to go to school and live there as well. So when you become a minister, you're going to be a well-educated poor person, because, you're living a life of servant, right? Which is great. Hi, Alicio. But yeah, so that's why I moved to the Philippines. But one of the major draws for me to move to the Philippines is that I get to train FMA in the motherland, in the Nanay land, right? Like, who wouldn't want that?
Which is, can't put a price on that.
Absolutely. So that was not something that I was like, I was super excited. Like, one of the first things I did when I got there was go to Luneta Park and meet some of the teachers, instructors, and whatnot. And then I had a friend that introduced me to Jomar. So, and that was finally, Jomar is in the Philippines, he's my best friend in the Philippines. So if you're watching, Jomar, I love you. I miss you, brother. So, but so he loved me more than I deserved. I'm just gonna say that much. So, but
sounds like a good guy. We got more people jumping in. We got Chris Okada. Hey, Chris, who hopefully will be coming on here one time. We got Chad. We got Darren. Hey, Darren. We got June.
Yeah. So,
you're over there now. Just to back up, and we're gonna reconnect back to the mainland.
Sure.
When I know you started 1998 and all that. Did you ever get to a point where you were teaching before you moved back to the Philippines?
I was teaching, so I volunteer every year, December 26th to the 30th, to a camp called Christmas Institute. It's great. But we have workshops that we host there, right? And I always want to teach the punctuality workshop, but they never let me because my curriculum is like, I just don't show up. And then later on, I'll show up and I'm like saying, hey, how does that feel? Sucks, right? Yeah, show up on time, fools, right? And just be done with it. But they knew that I was practicing FMA. And so they asked if I could teach FMA to the workshop. So before I could do that, I had to ask my teacher's permission. So I asked Chief Joe's permission. And I was really, really hoping he was going to say, no, you're not ready.
No.
Right?
Say no.
But because my friends were asking me, and I'm like, I didn't think I was ready to teach yet. But come on, do it for the Lord. I'm like, you're gonna pull the Lord card? That's messed up, man.
Oh,
but I'm like, okay, well, so I'm just gonna ask my teacher, and he's gonna say no. Then at least I'm good. Like, Lord, I tried. So I'm like, Chief Joe, can I, this camp? They want me to teach. I mean, I understand if you say no, sir. No, go ahead. Oh man, So I started teaching just like a 1 hour workshop. It wasn't like super complex, right? Then in 2008, when I was in the Philippines, I actually got a hold of Supreme Grandmaster Diony Cañete. And I asked him if there's anybody that teaches the multi-style system in Manila. And he goes, there's only one person teaching multi-style.
Only one person.
Yeah, and I'm like, who's that? He goes, that's you. Oh, okay.
Wow, so that wasn't the answer you were expecting.
No, I wasn't. And then I confirmed with Master Sonny Napier. He goes, yeah. So basically, I was voluntold to start teaching, and that's where FMA School was born. Is actually in the Philippines.
Oh, so okay, because I mean we're going to get to obviously school. So that was created there. I gotcha. Okay. So let's go into all right. So you're over there. So you get settled there and what have you and all that. Did you start teaching right away, or did you get time to acclimate?
I started teaching probably within a month and a half of me moving to the Philippines.
Okay,
because
so
when Supreme Grandmaster Dione says you're the only teacher, then
that's a green light.
Yeah, that's a green light. So, and I got it from him and Master Sonny Napier. So I'm like, okay, well then let's go do this. And then I fell in love with FMA all over again. I didn't think that was even possible.
So was it like sort of a reincarnation, so to speak? Or?
Well, I mean, I was already in love with FMA, but it took me to a whole different perspective. Like from a teacher's perspective. Now, don't get me wrong. I always wanted to be a teacher. I just didn't think 10 years was enough. Right. So from 98 to 2008, I didn't think 10 years was enough. But clearly, they said, no, you're teaching. So,
so obviously, they saw something in you. So maybe perhaps you're questioning your own confidence.
Oh, of course. Absolutely. I'm definitely
I was going to say, because obviously, with 10 years in, I mean, obviously, they saw something in you. I mean,
apparently so. And then, when I started, so FMA School was born. I remembered. I was talking to one of my best friends. He's still one of my best friends, Aaron. We were coming up with, because as a marketing consultant, I'm my own worst client. And so I'm like, okay, I got to figure out how to market myself, right? So the first thing you do is get a website. That's just the first thing you do, right? So we were trying to come up with an FMA domain name, right? Like FMA in the city, like, but what if I move out of the city? Like, FMA Manila. We came up with all these weird names, right? I knew we didn't want abracadabrasisbomba.com website. I wanted to be short and concise, right? And then also my buddy goes, let's look up FMA School. And sure enough, it was available. We bought it right there just in case somebody else decides to buy it, right? So one of my great friends, Pat O'Malley, Grandmaster Pat O'Malley, from Rapid Arnis.
England, right?
Yeah, he's in UK. He told me, he goes, that's a great domain name. I'm like, he goes, you better not lose it. I'm going to steal it. I'm like, oh, no, don't steal it, Pat. Don't steal it. So
what's so funny in that? You would have, I mean, I guess maybe it's perhaps easy to say now, but you would assume somebody would have had that already.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But I'm glad nobody did. It's mine.
What it could have been.
Yeah.
You know what it could have been is somebody might have thought about it, like, oh, somebody's definitely got that. That's, you know what I mean? But
hey, it was waiting for me. It was waiting for me. I was definitely blessed by that. So now I make sure there's always 3 years left in my domain name before I buy 3 more years. So I'm like, no, it's never leaving me.
Well, obviously you're not letting that go. So.
Nope. Because it's such a simple name, So
that's what I mean. Like I'm actually so surprised when you initially did the initial search that you didn't find it was taken. Right?
Absolutely.
So, but anyway, okay. So you're over there, you're settled, you're getting acclimated. You start teaching, within a month and a half. Let's any initial, troubles, backsets, difficulties.
The most difficult thing, and it's going to sound very, very like arrogant, and I apologize. That's not my intention. So sorry, everybody. But my most difficult thing was how much to charge.
I think that's goes for a lot of people, though.
But I think it's a different perspective. If I can just share,
sure.
Normally in a standard business model, whatever your expense is, that's you have to cover your expenses, right? Well, I was very blessed to teach at Central United Methodist Church in Manila, which is across the street from Luneta Park, right? I was very blessed to teach there in a space that's huge, right? And it has a roof, so if it's rain or shine, I'm teaching, right? And I was teaching there for free. So I had no overhead. So it was hard to determine then what's the appropriate amount to charge.
Right,
And,
no overhead.
right. So this is where Pat O'Malley was just a brilliant man. I remember we met in Cebu for the World Championship. He was telling me, like, I'm like, Pat, I don't know how much to charge. Right. And then he goes, I started with 500 pesos a month and nobody was signing up. And Pat basically said to me, he goes, find out what the local TKD school charges. I said, okay, based from that, and then charge 4 times more than that. Well,
4 times.
yeah. And yes, we're biased. We like FMA more, right?
Yeah.
But then I started charging 1,000 pesos a month. Now, let me just to kind of give everybody a perspective of how much 1,000 pesos is. In the Philippines, in 2008, you can have a live-in housekeeper for 1,500 pesos a month, right? And if you convert that to the money at the time, that's $30 a month.
What?
Yes.
And this is 2008. 2008,
and it's not that far off from today. Okay.
You could have a live-in
housekeeper, 7 days a week, does all your laundry, cleans all your house, cooks all your food. And the laundry's not a machine; it's them scrubbing it themselves, right? And
how is that even possible for?
Well, I mean, the cost of living is very low in the Philippines, so that's what I'm saying. 1,000 pesos when a housekeeper only makes 1,500 pesos seems to me a lot for me, right? But the one thing that Pat and a few others like Kuya Roland was telling me is like nobody's gonna put value in what you do until you put value in what you do. If you sell it cheap, then nobody's gonna put value in it. So when I put it at 1,000 pesos, that's when all the students started showing up.
See, that's like, and I understand the mindset where you're coming from. If you don't put a value on yourself, how can you expect others to value? I totally understand that.
Absolutely.
And I understand that from a respect. If you don't respect yourself, others respect you. I get it. I get it.
Absolutely.
However, when it comes to money, and I gotta be honest with you, you can't believe how low I charge my guys. I don't know, because I do it part-time and I don't rely on this for income, yada yada. But yeah, I've yet to make that crossover where, because I know I should be charging more. Everybody tells me it, but I guess mentally I have a mental block. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I felt that as well in 2008. So that was my biggest difficulty, was how much to charge. And I felt bad charging 1,000 pesos, but that's when people started coming in.
Wow.
Then when I had 10 students, I decided, let's just cut it off. Let's keep it at, I raised it to 15 and people still started showing up. I'm like, oh, well then, yeah.
Then I'm sure also your name started getting around and
right.
Like positive accolades were, I'm sure and all that. Now, and so when you were teaching within the ministry, basically the 12 Pares?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that was the style that especially at that time is all I knew. So
the other thing too is, like you said, Dione coined you the man up there.
Yeah.
You're the only one.
Yeah.
You're across from Lynetta Park. I mean, there's definitely some planets lined up there.
Oh, no, absolutely. Absolutely. Everything lined up. It was also the church that I was attending as well. The pastor at the time, he's now in Chicago, and every time I'm in Chicago, I'm staying with them. So, everything worked out. God totally blessed that transaction extremely well. So,
no, that's fantastic. I'm glad. So now, all right. So let's. All right. So what was? We got more stuff covering there. What was your duration there before you came back?
I left May of 2008. I left the U.S. to move to the Philippines, and I came back end of January 2009.
Oh, so you were just over just a year.
Oh, a little bit under a year. A little bit under a year, yes. Like 9 months to be more specific.
So your reasoning, we're going to stay on this for a bit, but just your reasoning from coming back was you kind of did your missionary stuff that you needed to do, and it was time, or what was it?
Well, the bottom line was, even though I went there to get, book educated, it was more of a life education for me.
Oh, I bet.
Being away, even though I'm Filipino and I was born in the Philippines and I still speak Tagalog fluently, right? I'm still no longer just a Filipino anymore. I'm Filipino American,
Gotcha.
You know, and there is a lot of passive aggressive tendencies.
In the FMA community?
No. Let me be clear. In the Filipino community, okay, not the FMA. In fact, the FMA community was the only ones that kept me sane. This is why I'm really close to Kuya Roland Isla and Jomar Obejas. This is why, because nobody else understood why I moved back to the Philippines, including my own family. I love my family, but including my own family, they didn't understand.
They didn't understand why you would go back. I got you. Yeah.
Basically, the way the mentality is this: like, you're already sleeping on the bed and you move back to the floor.
That's the way they looked at it. I got you.
Exactly. I left someplace that they're trying to get to, but they can't.
Right, and here it is that you're going back to
Yes.
all the effort they. Well, okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
So I
that.
had to really learn how to be. If there was one thing that I learned there was to be dependent on God. And there was many times where I'm like, God, I want to go home. I'm done.
Yeah,
I've only been here 20 minutes, but I'm done. I want to go home, right? And then there was this one time where I was really at my lowest, and then I wanted to go home, and God's answer to me was, "No, I'm not. You're not ready to go. You're not. It's not your time yet. But I'm going to send the people from home to you." So that was when we had the Wake Off 2008 World Championship was in Cebu. And then Master Sonny Napio goes, "Are you going to Cebu?" And I was just very honest with him. I'm like, "Chief, I can't afford it. Right? I can't afford it. I can either go to Cebu, but I can't pay for the hotel, or go to pay for the hotel, but I don't know how to get there." And the Chief was gracious enough, says, "Then you can stay with us." So he covered my room cost, you know. And then that was like, wow. So so there was many times when I wanted to go home, but God just said, "No, it's not your time." And then he brought a piece of home to me instead. So I'm very
things out. Sometimes things obviously for a reason.
So in January, it was I asked the Lord, should I go home or should I stay? And He says, "No, now it's time for you to come home." I've learned the life experience that I'm supposed to glean off of that. I got, and I came home, and then about like in 6 months later, in the fall of that year, 8 months later, something like that, I started going to Vanguard University to get my undergrad. So when you're over there, because you made a really great video and you shared it on our family discussion, it really resonated with me. I enjoyed it. I thought it was thought provoking. I thought it was well done, and I thought it really brought for assuming you have mature people, they have that element of common ground and discussion. But what basically it was is you were saying the benefits of training in the Philippines and why, if you can, someone should try to make the attempt or try to get there and all that. And so let's hear more on it. I mean, your opinion on that and your video. Well, okay, so one of the best experiences of my life was going back to the Philippines and training in the Philippines, right? Just the way I think, okay, I think that if FMA, what we know as FMA today, right, if it was born on the battlefield, right, then that means that it has to be, the environment speaks volumes to the way you fight. Right now, I had this wonderful discussion with a historian, a Filipino historian, about the Battle of Mactan Island and how it was, because it was on the beach, right, off of Mactan Island, right? He was telling me that they actually, he made sure, Lapu-Lapu, the great military tactician that he was, made sure to have spies to go over to Magellan's crew and tell them, attack him at this hour, right? And in that hour was low tide. So the ship, European warfare, it says to establish a foothold, right? To get off the ship and then bombard the village with cannon fodder, right? Fodder. Well, because the boat, it was low tide, they couldn't get close enough to the shore. They have to manually carry every one of them. And this is why Lapu-Lapu's men was only wearing loincloths. It's hard enough to walk on the beach, let alone with magic armor.
Well, yeah.
Right? And, back then, the guns that they have then was, you can't get it wet.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah, yeah.
Lapu Lapu, the brilliant tactician that he is, neutralized their technological advance with their guns, right? So what I'm just trying to say is this: is that Lapu Lapu, you know, and I'm not saying FMA is all derived from Lapu Lapu. I know that's another discussion. What I'm just saying is Lapu Lapu fought based upon his environment, right? So if his military tactics was dependent upon, right? Hey, there's Jomar. Lakbay di Sadiwa. That's him.
Okay.
Yeah. Based upon the environment, right? If his tactics was based upon his environment, then if we want to really study FMA, then we got to know what it's the heat that feels like in the Philippines, the way the air is, that contributes to your, to the influence of the style of FMA, right? I mean, hey, Super Dan. So for example, if the heat is there, right, and we all know it's hot in the Philippines, are you really going to fight really long time, or are you just going to quick in and out, right?
Yeah, I'm going to guess the quick in and out.
So what I'm just saying is the environment influenced the style.
Yeah,
it's impossible that it didn't. It's impossible that it didn't.
No. Logistically, it just obviously makes sense. Yeah,
absolutely. So of course, now when you're in America, if you're in the cold part of the United States, you're going to train differently from the way you train in the field. The environment is completely different.
Yeah.
Right. The environment is completely different. Right. And number two, these knowledge from these grandmasters, right, in the Philippines, that's once they're gone, it's gone forever.
And that's what's happening. Yes. I mean, if you look at the first, who's left in the first generation? You got a couple. There's like a few.
Let me put it this way. I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe Kakoy was actually one of the original 12 or the original 24 Doce Pares guys, right? But he was there.
Yeah.
Right?
You can't deny that.
He was there. So now, anybody that trains after that, we don't have that connection anymore.
No. And I think that's where things are beginning to get lost in translation.
Exactly. And then everybody has their own spin on the style. Grandmaster Renee's on. Hey, how's it going, sir? It's all of that is part of it. And once that's gone, it's gone forever.
No, I know, and I think I know, and I think it's happening already, and it's gonna be interesting. Not to get off topic here, but it's gonna be interesting. 10 years from now, 15 years from now, what the lens looks like.
Absolutely.
I think there's going to be a distinct difference. 20 years, I think. Yeah.
Absolutely. And there's certain styles out there that are very exclusive. Like they don't want to. If you're from another FMA group,
and they're going to die.
They're not going to teach you. They're not going to teach you, right? But I was thinking about that style. I was thinking about Eskrima de Campo, and then Canada de Campo just jumped in.
Yeah,
that's exactly the style I was thinking about. So,
it's true though. Like, matter of fact,
it's gone forever.
There's gonna be styles. No, and the reason being is obviously it's pretty simple. You look at Taekwondo; they have a farm program, kids.
Yeah.
It's not, you know what I mean?
Right.
FMA, there's going to be systems that are going to die.
I think
absolutely. 10 to 15 years, I think we're going to start to see evidence of that, sadly. Right. I don't want to be right. I hope, matter of fact, I hope I'm wrong. You know what I mean? But
I do believe in the evolution of FMA. It does need to evolve. It does need to change, right? But we can't appreciate how far we've changed if we don't know where we started.
No, that's well said. And we got there's a great guy, huh?
Yeah, I know.
One of the
people I want to work with when I go back to the Philippines.
Oh, what he's doing for the kids over there, I think is just phenomenal. So what do you think? Why else do you think it would behoove of a Western practitioner to try to make the trip over there? In addition to the two reasons we mentioned.
Well, I think the number one reason, and I think this could even be greater than going there to train, is that the food is freaking amazing. All right.
The culture. How about the culture?
No, the culture is great, but the food. I'm talking about. No, and the food is connected to our culture. Bottom line, the food is connected to our culture because we're such a hospitable people, right? And it's like it's our job to make you feel welcome and to feel full. Like Filipinos don't eat till they're full; they eat till they're tired. Okay, that's the way it's supposed to be, right? But it's just like when you go there, you want to understand the culture. Just immerse yourself into that. Immerse yourself into that. Another reason why I really think, and this is one of the comments that people posted in that discussion that I posted, was that, well, it's too dangerous. First of all, it's dangerous.
I don't. Is it still? Is it still to the degree? You know what I mean?
I'm not the one to tell people what they're comfortable with or what feels safe.
Yeah.
That's not my job. But the point of the matter is, it is dangerous. It's dangerous everywhere in the world, right?
Central America, South Africa,
dude, Los Angeles, an hour and a half away from me. All right, come on, San Bernardino. There was a shooting a few years ago in San Bernardino. It's dangerous everywhere. But this is why we train FMA, folks. The just in case moments, right?
Just in case.
But here's my argument against that. Maybe you should go home so you can feel the fear. Feel the fear.
Experience it.
Experience the fear so that you know that does your technique really work? Because the people, the grandmasters, the masters, the instructors in the Philippines, let's just say for the sake of this argument, that they have that danger inherent in them, then that means they've adapted to it. Right? So you want to know what it feels like, then go back to the Philippines and then feel if you're quote unquote scared, right? Then go feel the fear.
So what I should do is I should go over there, take a taxi to Tondo and just walk around.
Look, people have told me like, well, it's hard because I'm a white guy and I stand out. Dude, I'm 5'8" and I'm a big man. I stand out, right? I'm a pretty tall Filipino. Really.
Yeah, 5'8".
Yeah, I'm 5'8". I'm a pretty tall Filipino. I'm a big Filipino. Everywhere I go in Manila, they look at me like this. Like,
right. They're like 5'4", 5'5".
But no, it's not because I'm a big person, and that's fine, right? People just stare at me, so I stand out, right? I stand out. Well, I'm still here. And when people see me, they're not going to see, oh, he's Filipino. Oh, he's from another country, right? Because it's too big to be here from the Philippines, right? So I'm just saying, if you're scared, right, find somebody that's legitimate, right? That's legitimate, that will take care of you, that will make sure you don't go places where you're not supposed to go, right? And you'll be fine. But if you have that trepidation, if you have that fear, well, maybe that fear is going to be the fuel for you to train in a different way.
Or maybe you deal with the fear. You know what I mean?
That's how you deal with it, right?
You're proactive. You know what I mean? Wow. It was a great post you put there. I think there were some really good. I think the majority of the comments were really good. I think they were. Of course, you had a few.
Of course.
Unfortunately, that's just the nature of the beast. All that. So now, so we know you taught there. You know that. So, what about? Okay, so Lynetta Park, right across the street. I mean, there had to be some. You had to meet some incredible people there, right?
I did. There was a few, very small few, that didn't want to talk to me, which is fine. I respect it. It's their group and whatnot. But for the most part, people were very friendly. I remember walking into the park. I was wearing my Visayan Legacy shirt, but I didn't bring any sticks. I purposely did not bring any sticks because I wanted to show them who I was, but I'm not there to challenge anybody.
Yeah, so you're walking out there with parking your
exactly. I'm like, no, I'm not here to battle. I'm here to make friends. Right? Let's hug it out, kind of stuff. So, and that was cool. Like I said, and that's where I met Jomar. Luck by Diwa. Yeah. So that's where I met him, and he was my best friend in the Philippines.
Wow. What notable systems that you you mess around with over there? Or?
Well, like I said, Rapido Realissimo Kali.
Yeah.
I trained with Guru Roland Isla for a little bit. Nothing to the point where I'm like, wow, I know what it's about. No, but yeah, I got to train with those two guys predominantly. I still had to go to school, so I was still fairly busy. So
that's awesome. Did you meet Master Henry?
Yes, I met Grandmaster Henry Espera multiple times, right? But I trained directly with Jomar.
Okay, he seems like a nice guy.
Oh no, he's a great guy. He's absolutely a great guy. He's absolutely a great guy. That's a treasure right there, folks. That's an absolute treasure right there.
Yeah, I know. We're trying to get him on. We're not going to quit, but yeah. All right. Because you come back a little less than a year. Do you immediately take on the FMA school and run with it and open up a place?
So when I came back, I still wanted to get my undergrad, right? And so I remember I was talking to my family, to my mom more specifically. I said, Mom, I think I'm going to have to get a job, so I can pay for school and everything. And my family was extremely supportive of my ministry. They said, we got you. Just focus on school. So I took that and ran with it. But at the same time, I wasn't going to ask my mom for moving money.
Yeah.
So that's when I continued FMA school. I started teaching out of my garage, right? And so that gave me pocket change. All right. And then got a lot of great students out of that. So even one of them that's still with me today. So
wow. So now and you were basically just teaching the Dos Affairs. Yeah.
The Visayan Legacy style, yes.
Yeah, the five. Okay. So, do you cover now? You're teaching and all that. Do you cover all, as far as your students go? Are you covering all weapon modules? I mean, I know it's stick, obviously, but are you covering knife, sword, spotty dagger, the whole everything, or?
Yes, including the bangkao, the long staff.
Oh, the long staff. Okay.
So yes, and then I just started getting into lubid technique, which is rope technique.
The rope, I love the rope.
Oh, so
flexible weapons. I think they're so neat. Yeah,
exactly. So I teach single, double stick, long blade, short blade, the bangkao, weapon, panantukan. Not so much the dumo because I don't got the knees for it. And then weapons of opportunity, scarves, pens, flashlights.
Yeah. Okay. Right on. What do you, besides the physical content, of course, and all that? What do you try to instill in your students besides, making X's all day? You know what I mean? Like, what do you?
Well, the way I teach, Dean, is I teach from a philosophical standpoint, not from. So basically, I want my martial artists to think like a Filipino martial artist. So one of the core principles that I found across the board about as far as FMA is concerned, hey Chris, is that I call it efficiency movement. A lot of other schools call it economy in motion, but it means the exact same thing.
Yeah, economy, motion, efficiency. Sure.
Efficiency movement. Don't do more than you have to, right? So based upon that mindset, I try to instill that onto my students, and then that's we built FMA on top of that, right? The techniques is based upon that premise that you're not going to take 10 seconds to kill your opponent when you can kill him in 2 seconds, right? You can dispose of your opponent in 2 seconds. I want them to think like they don't want to. I don't want them to be afraid. Right? So there's a difference between paranoid and being prepared, right? Paranoid people don't leave the house, right? But prepared people look at things differently and say, okay, there's the exit. There's the other exit, right? But this is just me. I'm not saying every Filipino martial artist does it, but this is the way I think. Is that when I go to the movies, I always sit at the edge. It's the same movie. It's in the middle as in the edge, right?
Yeah. Believe it or not.
If there's something that was to go down, I'm the first one out.
Yeah, I think it's just being proactive.
Exactly. I think that's what it is. Another thing that I tell my students is it's like I always park as close to the building as possible, to the entrance as possible.
I think it's just good habit.
Well, I mean, because people tell me, "Oh, I park far so I can get exercise," and I tell them, "Do you realize the further you are from the main door, the greater the danger grows exponentially?" Because all the cameras are pointed inside the towards the building, not towards the parking lot. And criminals know that. right?
Right.
Criminals know that. So I want him to think like a Filipino martial artist, right? On the second thing that I also want him to be, I want him to be honorable men and women,
Mm.
right? I always tell them, like, I'm not teaching bullies here. I'm not.
Yeah, good. Yeah, of course. Yeah,
Right.
right.
I always tell my students, if I ever hear you start a fight with somebody, the next fight's with me.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know?
you're gone. Yeah.
No, they want to see bullying. They're going to see it.
Oh, yeah, but after that.
And, you know, they respect that. And so one of the best compliments I get, especially I just came back from Combat Con, and somebody actually literally said to me, he's like, I can tell my one of my students who was with me, they said, I can tell that this guy's an FMA practitioner, but he is very, very polite. Right? I'm like, yeah, that's the way I expect them to be. You know, I expect that from them. And so I want them to, I'm hoping that they get out of this. It's not just FMA, but like a way of life.
Being just a better human.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think, the students are going to model after you. If you run a class and you're bad mouthing others and other systems indirectly, especially if they're new and they don't have a good sense of compare and contrast, they're going to emulate what they're exposed to.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. So
I'm on the Miyagi side, not the Cobra Kai side.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I know. I'm with you. I think that's Chris Caban. Hey, Chris, I need I'll put my order in now. Yeah. Kenneth Coe, Canada.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, really, really good guy. Chris, I'm putting my order in. I need a training Chris and a dagger. But
I got one of my first training acts from Chris. So
yeah. Oh, you know what? I might have to grab that too. But so then, all right. So you're teaching all that. I think that's great stuff. As far as what you just mentioned, as far as instilling your students. Right. Just overall try and make better humans, right? Your thoughts on teaching knife. One of the things that's come up. I forget where it came up. I think it might have been a recent interview actually, and that. People that just seek you out for knife. Now, knife defense, okay, I get it. You, God forbid, you want to know somebody you get attacked. I understand that. But when you hear the word knife offense, I mean, does that set alarms off for you?
A little bit. So one of the things I do when somebody says, I just want to learn the knife. And I'm like, okay. So I'm actually holding one of Doug's Dart trainer knives. Like my students bought this for me for Christmas last year.
Oh, the Dart.
Yeah, the Dart knife. Okay, so I tell them, okay, are you sure you want to learn that? So because of the wave feature of the Dart, right? I'm like, are you sure you really want to learn that? And all of a sudden it goes poop. And I'm like, and then it's right on their neck. I'm like, are you sure you want to learn this? Because this is, and then if they're like, then you're not ready.
Yeah.
You're not ready. Then so I'm like, you can get to this level, but it's gonna take time. And then I always tell them that you have to earn the privilege for me to teach you that. And right now you haven't done it yet. Now, if I do that and their eyes are like they haven't moved, then there's something else going on underneath.
Yeah, right? Like what I mean? Like they didn't even acknowledge what you did. You know what I
mean? They're too focused. They're like flight or fight response. What is? Oh, I'll tell you. Okay, so the flight or fight response is that your eyes kind of narrow, right? So when you do that, when I pull my trainer and I rest it on their neck and they don't even react, that means that their adrenaline is already running.
You're right, because they can fly. Yeah, think about it. Yeah.
Their adrenaline's already running. So when I do that, I'm like, what I would do is actually talk to them after class and say, what's going on, man? Are you okay? What's going on? And then it becomes more of a counseling session.
Yeah, but you're probably helping them. That's great. You know what I mean?
I try to anyway.
No. I mean, your intentions show right there. No, whether you do or not, but at least you made the effort and you noticed something and you reached out. Yeah. I mean, God knows what you could maybe help or save, and all that.
I mean, more often than not, they end up crying.
Yeah, maybe all that just built up, and
It's
somebody
just
asked.
something that they just wanted to let out. And
No, no, somebody asked the right question. You
yeah,
know what
I
I mean?
mean, as a Christian, I always believe that things happen for a reason.
Sure.
And if I believe, as a Christian, I also believe that everything I do, I should always try to put glory and honor to God at all times, right?
Mm.
So and I'm not Bible thumping when they're with me. I'm just like, hey,
No,
man,
no, I get you. Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on? Why do you? It seems like you're so tense. What's going on? Right? And then they'll tell me, he's like, at work, I'm being bullied all the time. And I said, what's the best cure for that? Like what? Be nice to them. Right? I would tell them, I used to have a coworker that just hated me. But every morning I say, good morning. How's it going, man? Or every Monday morning, how was your weekend? How's your family? And I could see the irritation that's happening to my coworker. But what's he gonna do? Go to HR and say, "Listen, you gotta fire Francis. Why? Because
because he's asking me how my day is.
he said good morning to me, that bastard." Right? What an ass! He asked me if I'm doing well. What an ass!
How my family's doing. Yeah.
So it's like, and then so you kill them, and then so I would tell them that they're like, "Wow," and look, at the end of the day, you're just there to work, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Exact, kill him with kindness.
Yeah, can argue that.
It's just, and then at the end of the day, they're just if you're really not comfortable, talk to your HR. That's what they're there for. And if it's still not going to be resolved, then get a lawyer because now you can sue them. No, don't do that. Just kidding. But because their job is to create a safe work environment. If they're not doing that, no, I'm not a lawyer. But at the end of the day, go find another job.
Yeah, right.
It's not worth. I worked in a company once where I hated it. I hate dreading going back to work every day, and I did it for a year, and I'm glad I'll never do that again.
Yeah, that's a tough position, man. I've been there, man. That's a tough spot to be in. Guru Louie, he does Dose Paris. I'll let you
predominantly it's Dose Paris multi-sale system, but the system that I actually practice now is called Visayan Legacy Eskrima.
Okay, good. I hope that helps, Guru Louie. Okay, as far as your students go, your importance of double stick trading. I mean, what do you try and instill in your students, through double sticks? What do you find that's like that you like to teach it, and why?
I love teaching double sticks because it's forcing them to use both hemispheres of their brain.
Gotcha.
Okay, so I always said this is the way I describe FMA to my students. Mm-hmm. It's like an orchestra. In an orchestra, there's the string section, the wind section, the percussion section, right? They're all playing different notes, but it's one beautiful harmonious symphony, right? And so when you're doing double stick, right? It's the same. Like your right hand is attacking, your left hand is defending, and it switches, right? It switches from there. Boom. So you're blocking here, you're striking. You're blocking here, you're striking, right? That's when you're in tune. Your body's harmonious, right? And then everything is firing in all cylinders. But it does take time for my students to get there. It does take time because double sticks and maybe other instructors, if you got a faster way, let me know, hook me up. But it does take a little bit of time for them to get there. But once they get it, man, it's just like boom. Now show me.
Yeah. I agree. I think the coordination alone, and like you mentioned, the both sides of the brain hemisphere and all that. And I do like your analogy though, the symphony. I might have to steal that one.
No, I think so. Take it. So remember, the guy in the front has a baton.
Yeah. The guy. Yeah, that's right. There you go.
Too.
I
did get a chance to train in Dos Paris in the headquarters.
Oh, that must have been amazing.
That was amazing. Yes, I'm like, I saw this on the Human Weapon. This is crazy. So.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. They cover. I remember that. Okay. Yep. So again, it can be more than one, or maybe they're all equal value to. Favorite weapon to train, if one, far as practicality or far as the art?
Oh man, that's holy Jesus. That's definitely gonna require. Okay. Well, I mean, I mean, no, it's fine. I mean, I definitely like the single stick, right? But I love flexible weapons. Man, I think all of them. I love training in all of them.
Yeah, I love them all too, but I gravitate towards knife.
Okay.
Okay, you might need to do a test on me. No, I'm just kidding.
You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine.
Just because of the practicality. That's what I'm going to see out there. You know what I mean? But as far as the art and all that, I am absolutely fascinated with the Espada Dada.
God, it's gorgeous.
Not just, but
absolutely
practicality, knife,
like flowing.
Yeah, it's just the endless possibilities. You know what I mean? And just the problem solving, the flow. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's just.
I love it.
Yeah, no argument here. Okay, let's your view is sparring, and how should it be introduced as far as students are concerned?
So, what I tell all my students is that what I'm teaching you guys is theory, right? I believe it's going to work, but it's still theory. The one thing about I can never duplicate as an instructor in my class is I can't duplicate life and death situation.
Or the opponent, right? No, I think you're being honest. I mean,
right, because I don't want to. I can't kill my students. The law frowns upon it, right? Yeah. And I can't. Yeah. I mean, I don't have the intent of. I mean, here's the thing. Everybody knows this. If a madman really wants to kill you, they're gonna do everything in their power to kill you.
100%. Yeah.
Right. I did train a little bit in San Miguel Eskrima. That's part of my Visayan Legacy curriculum. I'm sorry. So if a madman really wants to kill you, they're going to kill you, right? That nothing, whether they're, and everybody can get lucky with a lucky strike, right? Mm-hmm. So everything I'm teaching is theory. You're in a safe environment, right? I can add stressors all day long, but it's still not a life and death situation.
No, I know. You do the best you can to introduce.
You do the best you can. So competition. And I'm not even saying it's the close second, but it's the closest thing that we have.
Because of the stress, the fighting back of the opponent.
Exactly. I mean, the guy in front of you wants to be a world champion and you're in his way. Guess what? He's going to run over you.
Yeah.
Right? That's the closest thing I can get you to a life and death situation is tournament. I'm not saying it's actually the same or it's very close.
No, you're being honest.
But it's still the closest thing that we can do. It's the closest thing that we can do, unless short of trying to actually kill your students.
Yeah, or maiming them or injuring them.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. It's not worth it. So, so tournaments are very, very important. In my opinion, competition is very, very important. For my students, I recently just changed my policies that they have to at least be with me for a minimum of 6 months before I allow them to compete, and they have to pay me an additional price for the competition training.
Because they're getting additional training how to basically succeed in that environment.
No, it's not that at all, brother. It's because I'm very blessed to have 3 world champions, and every branch of Visayan Legacy has at least 2 world champions. Okay, so I'm very blessed. So clearly, our training regimen works, right? If it's just we have 1 champion or 2 champions, but the entire Visayan Legacy organization every branch has at least 2 world champions. I personally have 3.
Now, is this WCAF format?
GSBA format.
So what's the difference? Okay, is there,
the spelling. WCAF is spelled, no, I'm just kidding. It's very similar. The rules are very similar. The style of format is very different, but it is a separate group. My teacher, Guru Henry, my first FMA instructor, he's a 19-time world champion in both WCAF and GSBA.
Wow.
Okay, so so my students, but what I tell them is like everybody, I'm like, I want to be a world champion. Really? Prove it. Right? So what I'm tired of, and this, I love my students, but here's what I'm tired of them. I'm tired of them quitting because they didn't realize how hard it was.
Okay.
So, so, brother, but that was good, man. I'll come home as soon as I can. I was supposed to go home this year. You know that. I talked to you about it. Talking to Jomar. The bottom line here is that the reason why they have to earn the privilege of training in the world championship, techniques and training regimen is because I'm sick and tired of these people that just quits in the middle.
Oh, so you want that you know they're vested. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I'm like, I already proven it. I've proven it. I have world champions. I have nothing left to prove to myself.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
I got it. Check that box off, right? Now, if anybody else wants to learn it, prove it to me.
Yeah, right.
Because our program works. All right,
Gotcha.
we have multiple world champions in Visayas Legacy. One of them is a 19-time world champion. That's insane.
Yeah, I can't argue that.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
as far as the methodology working or not, I mean, yeah. So, but then those who I guess perhaps maybe don't want to do champ, but they start. So, like I guess in a class format, how would you introduce sparring to them?
I definitely don't force any of my students. If they don't want to compete, that's not a necessity. It's not necessary. But I do emphasize that this is theory. So what we do is we do light sparring in my class sessions. I'll make them put on the armor or put on a helmet and gloves just to be a little safe, right? And then they start whacking each other, right?
Yeah.
And as a referee, I be the referee. My job is to make sure that there's no permanent body damage, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, they have to feel a stick flying to their head at 50 miles an hour. Feel like, I
agree. They have to see what that's like and to see that coming at you and to deal with that. No, I agree. But I think it also, much to your point, to be done in gradual increments, safety.
Right.
I mean, people work, they have to go home, and yeah.
I mean, bottom line here is this, Dean, is that everybody, I can tell you all day long that fire is hot. But until you get burned, you're not going to respect it.
No, I know. Until you touch it. Till you touch the stove. I can tell you it's hot, but till you touch the stove.
You're not going to respect it. So until you feel the stick flying at your head at 50 miles an hour,
yeah.
You're not gonna understand the importance of footwork and blocking.
And blocking. Yeah.
Or evading. So
no, yeah, understood. All right, great stuff so far. So we're gonna get into hey, Brian Rodriguez, your YouTube channel, FMA School, and as well as your 413 Media Group has.
Right.
I thought I subscribed to both. Just
Thank you.
thought some great stuff on there. I enjoyed going through it, and all that. And some of the vids I'd like to discuss. One we kind of already did, as far as the why you should train in the Philippines and all that. But the next one I'd like to discuss is lineage. And what's your view on lineage and its importance?
So I have multiple levels of why that's important. Let me go to the most basic one first, and then we can.
Sure.
If you say, okay, let's say you want to you want to be a UFC fighter, an MMA fighter, right? And there's two teachers. Let's just say, just for the sake of argument, equal distance from you, 1 mile this way or 1 mile this way. Okay, and let's say they're charging the exact same amount. So everything all being equal, but one of them has won 99 fights and the other one did not. Has not won any fights. Who are you going to train with?
Yeah.
That's lineage.
Yeah.
That's lineage. You're like, oh, he's got a great track record. I'm going to train with him.
Yeah, you're associating yourself with somebody who has a success.
That's a high success rate, right? So you're going to train with him. That's lineage. You care about where this person came from.
Yeah.
Right? You care about this person's training. So you can emulate it and you can win 99 fights.
Gotcha. Yeah.
It's just the bottom line.
You can't argue that. I mean, from that perspective.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna, like I said, all things being equal, you're gonna train with a guy who wins 99 fights or the guy who hasn't won a single one. Yeah.
No, right. What about as far as well, let me hear your other aspects. Sorry, go ahead.
So the more lack of a better term, the more deeper aspect about this is that like what we were talking about with, let's say, the gold mine of the knowledge, right? Of these grandmasters, right? These guys, they learned it from people who used this to fight against the Spaniards, to fight against the Japanese occupation. So that's life and death stuff, man.
Yeah, that's lineage.
So you're like, I mean, you're like, this guy survived World War II. He survived the occupation, and he fought like all these people, right? I want to learn from him.
All right. No, yeah.
I want to learn from him. And then now and this is why I say this is a deeper level. But what if he's gone? He natural causes, he dies, right? Well, now, okay, well, he's gone forever. Go home. Or now you train with the guy that spent the most time with him.
Right. No, yeah.
So you care about that guy's lineage, right? And then now you're a teacher. And somebody goes, you know what? I want to learn something that was tested at this. I'm like, well, my teacher's teacher, right, learned this, right? And then so now that's another line of lineage. Now it's forward lineage. Instead of going back, it's now forward, right? Because now I'm going to open the school. One of the biggest heartbreaks of my FMA career is when Chief Joe Napio died in 2004. Okay, great martial arts, Filipino martial arts instructor. There's a story of him talking to a guy on the way to the Philippines to compete at the World Championship in 2004, right? He talked to him over the phone. I mean, not over on the plane ride. That guy came home as a world champion. And they just talked in the plane. And that guy is saying that it's because of the conversation he had with Chief Joe.
Wow.
Okay? So now Chief Joe's gone. That knowledge is now resting between myself, Guru Henry, Guru Ariel, Guru John, and of course his brother, Master Sonny Napio. Right? That knowledge is now rests with the people I just mentioned. Right? So then, of course, you're going to want to train with one of us if you want to train if you want to glean from whatever Chief Joe showed us.
Right. Far as that, yeah.
Exactly. That's why lineage is important because like I said, it goes back to the first reason, but it goes deeper with the second reason because now you won't have access to the people that are gone. Supreme Grandmaster Cacoy Cañete is gone now. So who are you going to train with? His number 2 guy.
Yeah, right. You're going to go to the next in line. Like if you look at KI, well, there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, and they both, Ricketts,
right, exactly.
RIP, both passed away. So who do you go next in line? Who's next in line? Well, Brandon Ricketts.
Exactly. I mean, that's the purpose of why lineage is important. You're not going to go to a guy who just says, where did you learn FMA? Through YouTube.
Yeah, well, all right. I think I may, but the thing is too, I think the other, like you just mentioned, prospective students, absolutely. Like those who understand it, and they've done research and they understand the point. They're going to seek out, right? They're going to seek out somebody.
Everybody has a supercomputer on their pockets now. It's called their smartphones, right?
Yeah.
They Google with the best.
Yeah.
So they're gonna I learned that technique. Oh, he's dead. Oh, then you just quit after that? You're going to find somebody who taught him. And then even if the person hasn't died, the geographic proximity is also a factor.
Yeah.
He's all the way in the Philippines. I'm in California. What do I do? Oh, his number 2 guy lives in Los Angeles? I'm going to train with him then.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I put a value on lineage.
Now, what people have been dinging me about was like, lineage is not going to protect you in a life and death battle. Excuse my.
The instructor.
I'm like, no shit, Sherlock. Right? No, I'm not. Here's my certificate. I'm like, no shit, Sherlock. But at least I know that
that's what bothers me, man. Some of these comments, like, come on, guys, we can do better than this. I mean, sometimes I'm looking at some of these comments in FMA discussion. And this is why I appreciate your posts so much because they're thought provoking and bring out. But of course, like we mentioned, being the, and before we went live, you always got to get those few or whatever. And I'm just like, you got to be kidding me. That's all you could think of to say. And I'm just like.
Well, I mean, I appreciate everybody's comments and I try to respond as politely as I can. But
you did well.
Your lineage won't matter in a life and death battle, in a life and death situation. My answer is you're absolutely wrong because your style, the way you move, even though it's unique to you, it still has the fingerprint of the people that taught you the FMA style that you're practicing.
I like that.
They are with you. Now, bottom line here is I don't care how much you pay me. If I don't want to teach you, I'm not going to teach you.
Yeah.
So the mere fact that your teacher taught you right? They're with you now.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
for
well,
me,
they imparted in you, instilled in you. Yeah,
exactly. And then so now my students, I talk about Chief Joe all the time. They're like, man, it must have been great training with him. Yes, it was. Absolutely, it was. Right. But now they get a piece of him through me.
yeah,
That's
right.
that's how I keep it
You gotta
alive.
look at it. Like I don't, like when I was in the 90s, when I was on my KI hunt, there was nobody on the East Coast. I mean,
Yeah.
I couldn't. Mark Wiley, I was trying to follow him through Tuttle Publishing. It just didn't work out. So then I got frustrated because then, unfortunately, 3 of the 5 pillars passed off. But then I got to be honest. I said, well, no, wait, man. There's Brandon Ricketts. There's Burton. These guys, actually, I mean, that's what you got to do. I mean,
yeah, that's what you got to do. I mean, it's just one of those things that you need to be able to, you have to understand, like, these knowledge is not given to everybody. As much as we like to, it's not given to everybody. It's given to a select few. And then if you wanted to learn a specific way of a specific style of a specific person, then you better either if that person's still alive, you better go to there and move there, or find somebody closest.
Yeah, I'm with you. I agree. All right, next. I enjoyed this one because initially when I saw the title, I didn't think you were going where you went, and where you was the money thing, the McDojo in the FMA world.
Okay.
And you definitely confused me from the title to the actual content and what you discussed. I again, another one I enjoyed. So let's hear it.
So one of the things that people commented about is like, oh, people are just there to, the McDojos are there to make money. Well, that's why it's called business, right? That's why we call it capitalism. Right? And this is where, again, lineage is tied to that. Oh, this guy trained with him, so I'm going to charge you. It goes back to our original conversation. Nobody's going to put value in what you do until you put value in what you do. So I'm just, to my brothers and sisters and FMA instructors, let's not vilify people who are trying to make a living out of this.
Yeah.
Right? We want to see FMA grow into the next level to where BJJ and these guys are at, Krav Maga, right? It's gotta make them money.
Yeah.
It's gotta make them money. Now, whose job is it? Is Ellie finance part of the plan? Yeah. Whose job is it to keep the quality of your FMA high?
Yeah.
That's the head instructor.
Yeah.
All right. So now, I do not water down my system. I do not. Okay. But as of yesterday, I have 36 students signed up with me.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay. And thanks to God, right? But my students are still getting that level of quality from me. Right? My students are still getting the training that they want from me, right? So what I'm just saying is, like, yeah, I'm now making decent amount of money, right? And I'm ready to actually I'm looking for, guys, if anybody know in Riverside County area, if you know of a great commercial real estate agent, send them my way, please, because I've been looking for a place since 2018. Okay. I'm ready to move to a commercial site. And right on top, it's going to say Filipino Martial Arts School.
Have you thought about subletting?
I did. I was training in a Krav Maga studio owned by one of my good friends, Cliff Odette, right? But understandable, he couldn't give me the hours that I needed.
No, I understood. Yeah. Okay.
And that's fine. I love him. We're so
right. Yeah. Sure.
But I'm like, I need to open.
No, you need your own space. Yeah,
I need my own space now. I mean, so I have 36 students as of yesterday. 3 signed up yesterday. Thank you, Lord. So I mean, it's up to me to keep the quality high, right? And yet I'm still making money out of it. Yeah. Why not?
Well, obviously, you're doing something right. Yeah.
I mean, this is my full-time income.
Okay.
This is,
Oh, that's okay.
this is the puts the bread in the butter, the roof over the head, and the clothes
Gotcha.
on the back.
Yeah, and the
Okay?
clothing.
Clothes on the back. Okay, so this pays for my cell phone, my car, everything. So it pays for
Yeah,
everything.
yeah. So
This,
yeah,
this,
so this is
so what I'm saying is, it's like I'm a dojo. You should lean on how do they make, because my dojos, their job is to make a profit, right? But for some reason, we feel in the FMA community, a lot of the people in the FMA community looks at making a profit as a way of watering down your system.
yeah, and I don't agree with that. No, yeah,
It's not.
I'm with you on that.
It's not. It's absolutely not. And
Yeah.
and then let's go back to again how much we're charging. And you were saying that you have a hard time with this, Dean, right? The more you charge, the less students you need.
Can't argue that.
Right? I have a good friend who is a member of the Dog Brothers. He's a member of the Dog Brothers, right? Great friend of mine. He's 3 minutes away from my house. Okay. He told me he charges this amount. I'm not going to say it online. He charges this amount, right? And he goes, I could never go above that amount. And I just did this.
Yeah, you're like,
and I'm like, I was charging.
If I told you what I charge, you would be doing that and falling on the floor.
So he asked me, he goes, why are you doing that? I'm like, I don't want to tell you. He goes, why not? Because I charge $50 more than that per month. And he's like, and that's the minimum too. Like it's the bare minimum. Like you want to work with me, you got to pay me this much and no less. And he just couldn't understand that. Right? And he's got a full studio. He's got a full studio. Garage. Garage.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
So, but I'm making more money. So the more I charge my students, the less students I need.
The less you need to go, man, I gotta get 5 more students this month. Right. I get you. No, I definitely follow.
Now,
yeah, it makes sense.
Now here's the best part. Because I charge how much I charge, right? People that see the value in it, and now they also want to sign up.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely yeah, I know. Like if it I think my mindset, I don't know this for sure because I'm not there. I think my mindset would be different if it was my sole income. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I'm guessing anyhow that would change things. But because I do this like part-time and all that, kind of /hobby /part-time, whatever it hasn't like really become like, man, like I've never like,
Oh, no. Necessity is the mother of all inventions.
Yeah.
If I didn't do what I have to do, I'd be starving. So I'd be in a lot of trouble, right? So
yeah, right. It was where
absolutely right. You and I talk a lot about that when I talk to my marketing clients, Mish, about how much to charge. You got to do your market research and what's the median household income.
That's a good idea. Yeah, that absolutely makes sense. Right.
So, but fortunately enough for me, because of my price point, I pretty much have students pretty much all of Southern California
that come.
Not within 5 to 10 minutes away from me. We're talking about hour and a half away from me.
Oh, they try. Okay. Wow.
One of the students, he's from the online group. One of the students that signed up for me yesterday, he's from Ireland. So I'm like, cool.
There you go. Yeah.
So
I know. I don't know. I wrestle back and forth with it.
One of the things Doug and I always talk about, Kuya Doug Barcada talk about, is that it's time for us to professionalize FMA. And the way you can, if you want FMA to really grow, it's gotta make you money.
I know, and that's so interesting you made that, because if you look at MMA schools, you look at Taekwondo schools, Krav Maga, you better believe they're professionalized. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I know it's that like, and I have that mentality that that kind of backyard mentality, you know what I mean, and what to charge and all that, and I agree with you on that. That if for it to grow or become equal, the whole business mindset has to completely be revamped and and change, and I'm part of it. I'm part of the problem too.
I mean, I just think that if I can create a business model
Mm.
so that for my brothers in FMA, my brothers and sisters in FMA can follow, then why not?
Mm.
Why not?
You should do that. I hope you do that. I think you would help a lot of people. I think you would help a lot of people.
I'm really trying.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
where
You do.
That's where 413 comes in. That's the market.
Yeah. Because I mean, the way I look at it, okay, all right, I'm making this extra money. Oh, good, I could buy another weapon. All right, you know what I mean? That's kind of like my current lens. You know what I mean? You know, or I can pay for this training now with Brandon because I got you know what I mean. So, but yeah. But all right, so. Okay, so that was a good one, the McDojo and all that. I thought, like I said, man, you fooled me on it because I did not think, based on the title, where you were going with that. So that it was pretty refreshing, actually.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do a clickbait.
No, I thought it was great. No, it was great. It was well done, actually.
Thank you.
Okay, another one. What's more annoying than keyboard warriors?
These YouTube masters, you know.
Now, I enjoy listening to one, but you know what I really enjoyed about this one too? I really enjoyed how instead of bashing them, you kind of turned it around, like how, you know, if they own up to it, hey, okay, you know, we all sometimes say stuff maybe we could have said better or that we shouldn't have, but if you own up to it and all that, and how people should be polite, like, you know, like we have zero tolerance after discussion. You call somebody a name, profanity, we just don't deal with it because we had to, because things for a couple of weeks were getting like pretty out of hand, you know.
Right.
But what say you on that? I enjoyed it. So good.
Thank you. Well, I mean, it's for me, right? I mean, we all make mistakes, right? But the sign of an honorable person is not that they're not able to make mistakes, is that they can own and accept their mistake and make sure that they don't do it again. That is the sign of an honorable person.
Amen.
Right? If you make a mistake and you own it, you're like, damn, that was my bad. I am so sorry. I will make sure I don't do that again. To me, when people tell me that, man, dude, high five. You've just, not only did you gain my respect, but you gained more of it than you initially did, right? Because everybody makes mistakes, but not everybody owns up to it. We're in a society now where it's like, it's because of this, or the sun was too bright, or the earth spins too fast.
I know. I know.
That's why, blah, 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 right? It's like all these fucking excuses, right? You know what I always tell people? Everybody has two of everything. Assholes and excuses, and they're both full of shit.
Oh my, that's the first time I ever heard that, man. I'm gonna have to steal that one too.
It's okay. Feel free to use it. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, but they're both full of shit. So I'm like, no. But how many people do we know that says, "Wow, that's my bad"?
I know. And on social media, it's like not because they're behind the keyboard, they don't have to see the person. They can just say whatever because the consequences are zero.
Right. So when people will comment saying that, oh, it's a fact that it's like this. Oh, it's a fact. Show me your empirical evidence, please.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember.
So here's another thing and for all my ground fighters, brothers and sisters, please do not hate me for this. But when people always tell me, we all know that most fights end up on the ground. All right, show me your data. Well, it's proven. Because it ends up on the ground because you guys fight on the ground.
Yeah.
Maybe because you're prone to go on the ground.
Maybe because that's the area you want to go and you bring it there.
So that's why he goes there. Could it be possible that?
Yeah, right? No, definitely. No, I mean, I got 20 years. Like 20 years I've been in grappling, and if you push the issue because that's what you like, well, that's what you're gonna do.
I mean, what I'm just saying is, if people are gonna call it a fact, then show me your data.
Agreed.
This is my academic background, you know. This is like, no, show me your data.
No, I agree. No, as well as it should come out though. Yeah.
When that one guy commented that all you know, most of FMA, most of the martial arts are Taekwondo and karate in the Philippines. Oh yeah. And he said, and that's a fact. Oh yeah, show me your data.
90s, from my understanding, again, don't call me this. I never lived there, and you have. But in the 90s, I heard that, basketball, taekwondo being the more popular. But I heard now there's been a reinsurgence of getting the youth involved, and FMA in there is coming up.
Right.
All that. Am I accurate in that? Is that correct?
Yes. That's
Okay.
I mean that's where a lot of people are stating that. But that's in the city. Okay? In the most rural parts of the Philippines, which is about 80% of the Philippines.
Not taekwondo there.
Did you do research there?
I know. They're basing off Manila
or Cebu, or did you do your research there? Jeremy, actually, I've heard about that research data, and but I want to point out that most assaults are, according to the FBI data, most assaults are done with knives. Okay, so number two, which police precinct did this, or is this a national research? What I'm just trying to say is, I'm not saying that they're wrong. What I'm just saying is, if you're going to claim it as a fact, then show me your data. Show me your empirical proof that that's the case. Don't give me conjecture. Don't call it a fact, and then it's really your conjecture.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying. But thank you, Jerry.
No, fair enough. Part of the mindset that needs to change from hobby. Yeah, Jim, and I could definitely, I need that mindset change from hobby to professional. Okay, that was, again, I thought that was another great, and folks, incidentally, again, if you haven't missed it, the YouTube channels I'm referencing as far as these videos and the content we're discussing are FMA School on YouTube. And let me just make sure.
Can I clarify, if you don't mind?
Oh, go. Yeah.
So the discussions that Dean was referring to is actually on my 413 channel. It's part of my Bayani Talk series, and I release one every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Standard Time, where I talk about what we talk about in FMA. And then in FMA School, we actually just post a lot of like FMA stuff out there, but not so much discussions. And then on 413 Media Group, on that channel, I interview other martial artists in many different disciplines. Chris Lacava was one of them. So that's what we kind of do on those two channels. So find them at youtube.com at 413 Group and youtube.com FMA School.
So you interview people on 413?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay.
No worries. No, thanks, Jeremy. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. I must have missed that. Okay. All right.
One of the most popular videos is when I had an interview with Doug Marqueta and Willie Loriano.
Oh, I'm going to check that out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there was one with Tu Lam from that one. I forgot the name of that TV show, but yeah. So that was a pretty cool one. I have Albert Bonanno, Bon Bautista. Chris Lacava.
Von Batista?
Yep.
Oh, he's my brother.
He was my first one.
Oh, I love Von. Oh my God. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. I didn't. You know what? I might have been so paying attention to the videos that I was seeing. Maybe I just didn't see it, but I didn't realize you interview people. That's awesome.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Like the next one is going to be with Joseph Bautista from Escabo Daan, and then it's going to be Grandmaster Bram Frank.
Oh, we had him on there. Okay. All right. So, kids, like on FMA School YouTube channel, you did a quick, vid on, training kids and all that. Something I've been pushing for many years since 2002, getting kids involved in FMA, and I was, I taught kids FMA since 2002. COVID. But we're getting back this Friday, so I'm psyched to teaching kids. I just feel it's important. I feel it's imperative if we want to keep these arts going. I think if we don't, I think 15 to 20 years, we're going to see a very dynamic change in FMA. I think systems some will die out. I think the next generation, guys like my age and all that, are going to be at the tail end, the very tail end. So I think it's imperative that we get kids involved in all that. What are your thoughts?
I think yes. I think kids should train FMA. I absolutely do believe that.
Hmm.
It's one of the things I tell parents when they come to me, like, we want to teach our kid discipline and how to defend themselves. Great, that's awesome, right? Um, but what I also tell the parents is that, you know, this is a way for you to support. I mean, to encourage good behavior,
Hmm.
because in my school I teach traditional Filipino culture, where in traditional Filipino culture you say opo, which means yes sir or yes ma'am, depending on who you're talking to. And so all my students have to call me sir. I don't care if they're older than me or younger than me, they have to call me sir. And if they're older than me, I only emphasize that because the younger ones are going to emulate them.
They're a model. Sure, sure. Yeah,
Exactly. So then, because of that, I tell the parents, you have to call me sir also,
yeah.
because you're their main example. So what I tell the parents is that my job is to be the support system of the discipline that you're trying to instill on your child,
Hmm.
right? So I always tell my students, like, and their parents, if they're under 18, one of the things I tell them is, like, they have to do well in school. They have to always do their house chores. If you tell me that they don't, they're sitting in the corner and just doing their homework,
Yeah,
right? Let,
yeah.
let the martial arts be a reward system.
No, I agree. I
behavior.
do. I totally agree. What I do in my school. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, yes. So let that be a good as a behavior for good. I mean, as a reward for good behavior of doing what you're supposed to.
I totally agree. Like, I
Right.
teach out of a Kempo school, so the kids are already there. It's like I go there, and it's a separate program. However, though, if they misbehaved at home or within the class setting, whatever, regardless of the setting, in that particular class, they're sitting and watching.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
They're sitting in the corner, and
Yeah.
there's many ways you can deal with it. Like, if somebody is just very, very boisterous, very very attention seeker. One of the things I do, okay, come here. You're now my assistant,
Mm.
right? So now they're getting the attention, but not the attention that they want.
Right. Not the negative attention.
Now,
Gotcha.
99.99% of the time, that student is now the disciplinarian student, the one that instills discipline to the rest of the students.
Yeah.
Right? No, you got to call him sir. Right? So now I'm like, cool. You did most of my work now. Thanks. So
Yeah. Oh, and incidentally,
yeah. So that works. Less breathing to do, right? So so, but with kids, you have to teach them, especially if you're. And please don't get me wrong, especially Filipino, and of course non-Filipinos are always welcome to my school, right? But if you're Filipino, it's so hard to instill those kind of values growing up in America. Okay, so I'm very proud of my mom for making me speak Filipino at home. I have to speak Tagalog here at home.
Oh, good for her.
So now I am now a professional interpreter because of that. When in high school, when they were telling me you need to take a second language course to graduate. Yeah, I already have that. He's like, which one? English is my second. And they're like, but you never took ESL. Because I didn't have to. I had a college age reading level when I got to America, right, in third grade. So it's like, so the cultural, putting the cultural aspect of Filipino martial arts, the Oppo, and then, like, one of the things that they have to always do in my class, they have to clean the work area before and after the class, right? We don't work out until this is clean.
Nice.
Right? You don't like it? There's another school down the street. Good luck.
Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah,
right.
You're still good work ethics. You're still good.
Great work ethics. It's great work ethics. If the parents are so now the kids are telling Mom, Dad, we can't be late to class
because I gotta clean. I gotta get.
They have to be ready.
No, I think again, all going back, making good humans, better humans.
Making good humans, and then at the end of the day, if somebody messes with your kid knows what to do.
God forbid,
people tell me, like, oh, I was thinking about signing my son up for soccer instead of this. Great. I think soccer is going to teach him great discipline, teamwork, all that stuff. But if somebody bullies your kid, what's your kid going to do? Kick a field goal?
Yeah. Bounce the ball. Yeah.
Pass the ball, or like, oh, I want to get my piano. Yeah. So if somebody wants to bully your kid, what are they going to play? Sonata number 5 for him?
Yeah.
But have a soundtrack while they kick his ass? No.
But wow, we're getting to the end. This has been fantastic. Yeah, I'm so glad we did this. Okay, a couple more things.
Sure.
How can we collectively make our community better? In other words, get away from the tribalism, get away from how do we make it where
this you're opening the Pandora's box right now, man.
I opened up the Pandora's box when I started FMA discussion, is what I heard.
Oh well, this is going to open up even further. Okay.
That's what I've been told by many of the elders.
Yeah. Okay. So here's my answer to that. My absolute answer to that. And I'm going to use as my personal example. There's an FMA school similar to my style. I'm not going to say their name. That's about 20 minutes south from me. Right? Okay. When I found out that we have this community event that we hold every year, and then the person in charge of that community is now a good friend of mine, that community event, contacted me saying another FMA group wants to take over your spot. And I'm like, okay, what'd you tell them? They said, no, we already have an FMA group, right? And then their response to that person, oh, but we're better. Okay. I know this people. I contacted them. I'm like, was that necessary? Right? And I'm like, look, I told them this. It's like, why don't we do this? If anybody contacts me looking for a school and they're closer to you than me, then I'm going to send them your way. Right? Now, whether you do that for me, that's completely up to you. And then their answer to me, no, it's every school for themselves. Fine. Oh, okay, fine. We can do that. But here's the problem. And I told them this, right? I teach out of my garage. You teach at a studio, meaning I have no overhead. When you Google Filipino martial arts school in my county, I'm the first, second, and fourth that pops up on Google. Right? And so bottom line here, in order for you to even catch up with me on Google, you have to spend at least $15,000 to get there.
Good luck.
So good luck. So here's my answer to this, people, ladies and gentlemen. Here's my answer to this. Let's just say for the sake of this discussion, right? In my county, Riverside County, that there's 10 million people that lives in Riverside County. I'm gonna pull my calculator because I'm not that kind of Asian, right? There's 10 million people in the Riverside County. If 0.01% of that decides to take FMA, that's 100,000 people.
Think about that.
We can't fit them in our school.
Yeah.
I don't need a garage. I need an airplane hangar.
Yeah, right.
Right? So let's go back to 10 million people. If there's 0.001,
10,000, right?
10,000 people. Can you fit them all?
Still, yeah.
Okay, let's go another. That's 1,000 people. Can you fit them all?
No. In other words,
my point
plenty to go around.
My point. There's enough. Absolutely. There's enough people.
Yeah.
Right? There's enough.
You don't have to get territorial. Yeah.
We can share the market. Instead of spending our limited marketing budget on going against each other, we can support each other. Because I can't fit 10,000 people in my school.
I know. I wish more would share your outlook. Do you think since COVID, have you seen, like, the reason why I'm asking this question is sometimes it's been brought up to me. In other words, when I started this show, it was a few months before COVID kicked in. Obviously, I had no idea that. Purely coincidental. Subsequent to that, a few others are doing this. Jack Latour does the Carenza Project and all that. There's been some group online training. Have you seen? So my question is to you: with all the things I just mentioned and all that, have you seen an improvement since COVID in the subject that we're talking about, or is it a facade?
I think it's still too early to I would need to talk to more people about that. I don't know.
I don't know either, but what I constantly hear from people is that, no, there's been improvement due to you and some of these others. But at the same time, I also see that looming group overhead facade. Oh, yeah, we're united or that, you know. You know what I mean? So I don't know either. I take, I think what the people are saying, it's great to hear, I hope they're right, but I, like you, I see evidence, but then I see the facade still. I mean, you see, I have a discussion. They're very tight, or I can't like that. That's a totally different group from mine. I can't like that post. You see it within sanctions.
I mean, I'm not gonna even GSBA. There's some people that I just can't stand.
Yeah.
But the best part is nobody's putting a gun in my head to work with them.
Yeah.
So there's in any industry, martial arts, whatever industry you're in, there's always going to be a group of people that you just can't stand, right? But it doesn't mean you have to work with them. It doesn't mean you have to work with them. I only work with people that are in the same mindset that we're trying to move this forward.
Yeah,
right?
Right.
And again, my thought is one of the things that's going to move this forward is if this is a profitable endeavor, right?
Yeah.
If this is making you money now, what I've been trying to prove to people, just based upon basic math, right? That there's enough there's enough potential customers that for us to handle with. I have students, again, like I said, all over Southern California, where they're driving an hour and a half just to get to me on a bi-weekly basis.
Sure.
Okay. So I wish I could tell them, hey, there's a guy there, or there's a guy here, right? But a lot of them are like, no, it's everyone for themselves. And okay.
Yeah, right. You're not obviously going to try to work with people like that who have that mindset and all that. I think you're bringing up something interesting, and I think that's going to really facilitate and help. I think it would help the community is that I think that territorial is like, gosh, I need to keep I can't worry about him, man, because I got 12 students right now and I can't lose any and all that. So I think if everybody was profitable, I think that would go away. You know what I mean? What do you think? Am I right?
I just feel like everybody's fighting for the same students.
No, that's my whole point, though.
No, I completely agree with you. I think everybody's fighting for the same students. There's still 100,000 students out there.
That's what I mean. Like if everybody would just relax and just be like, instead working to get, hey, you know what though? Hey, look, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. There's a guy that's 10 minutes closer to you. I'm good friends with him. I highly recommend him.
Yes.
If there was more of that, I think, man, I don't know.
I mean, it's not my fault that I'm all over YouTube. And then it's like, well, we really want to train with you. I'm like, okay,
Yeah, no, I mean, you obviously are putting the effort in the marketing. Nobody can fault you for that. Well, I chose personally, I hold myself accountable. I've chosen not to do that. So I don't blame anybody because I've chosen to be kind of low key and all that, part-time status and all that. But kudos to you. You've chosen to do the complete opposite of me. It doesn't make me wrong.
No, I mean, it's like, so my mindset has always been very different. I like to think of myself as an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur, but I like to think as an entrepreneur. Let me give you an example. Tournaments, right? The standard FMA or GSBA or Wake-Off tournament, right? You sign up for single stick, you pay this price, and then if you want to do double stick, you pay another price. And then if you want to do espada, blah, 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 all forever, right? I just think that when people then sign up, they're only going to gravitate and do the stuff that's going to be what they're comfortable with. They're not going to try the other divisions.
Sure. Especially if they're paying money too. Sure.
Exactly. Sure. So when I host tournament through 413 Media Group, when we do Battle of the Bayani, which is one of the shirts that I'm wearing right now, right? The tournament shirts. I charge one price for unlimited division.
Awesome. Okay.
So now instead of person trying one division, they're going to try it because they already paid for it. Why not?
Yeah. Why wouldn't they? Right.
Why wouldn't they? Okay. Then the second thing I do, and let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen, the people that sacrifice to be in these competitions are not just the fighters. It's their partners. If it's a kid, it's their parents or their grandparents, or even if it's the parents, it's the children. Every time you're away from your family, it's a sacrifice by your family.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you mean to tell me that the moment it's time for them to see the fruits of their sacrifice, they have to pay to come in?
I like that.
Right?
But,
To me, that's ridiculous. So you know what I did? Let them in for free. I don't charge spectators.
Oh,
I
good for you. Good for you.
fees, right? Because they deserve it. Now, here's what a lot of my contemporaries, even my people that I still respect, of course, they tell me you're going to lose money, Francis, and I'm like, well, it's my money to lose.
Yeah.
But I always make money. But I always make money in my tournaments because Dean, you're a dad, right?
Correct.
Okay. So here's what I do. People come in, the whole clan, the whole tribe of Filipinos come in, right? I sell food. If your kid sees another kid eating nachos, guess what your kid wants?
Yeah. He's going to want something.
Right? And then you're like, but Dad, I'm also thirsty.
Yeah.
And then you're like, gosh, those nachos does look good. Then you're going to buy nachos. And you're going to buy a drink. And, since you're there the whole day, you're going to get hungry again.
Yeah. Yeah, there's other ways you can make.
And then, my point here is that if you follow Disneyland's business plan, they don't really make money at the ticket sales. They make money on the food sales.
Okay. I wouldn't have known that if you didn't share that with me. Okay.
I mean, that's why their sodas are $20.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. But are you going to leave the park to get a cheaper soda?
Probably not. Not this guy.
No, you're not. Right? They got you trapped. Right? Well, now, because their fighters are there a whole day because they're fighting in multiple divisions.
They're going to be eating and drinking.
They're going to want to buy food. And then I also do raffles.
Right.
Like in all my tournaments, the first tournament I did in 2018, we gave away a 55-inch smart TV. The following year, we gave another 55-inch smart TV. On the regional tournament in 2019, we didn't give away one 55-inch smart TV. We gave away two.
Wow. So the
raffle monies, I'm making more money than I ever would at the door.
Good for you. Good for you.
So
and at the same time, you're doing something nice for the families.
And what did I do? I made it affordable for the fighters and affordable for their family to be there.
Yeah.
Right? That's all I did. Right? That's all I did. And I'm making money more than if I was to charge at the door and charge multiple price for
Right. Good for you.
Right?
That's awesome.
So that's how I think differently. You wanna know how we can break up this professionalized FMA? This is one of them. Stop thinking about the little amount. Think big picture.
Yeah, I hope you do something this on a more, definitely on the United States level, but hopefully you can get something going on a global level that would help FMA teachers and all that to make more, make a living at what they do. You know what I mean?
I'm open-minded to it. I mean, if anybody wants
you could actually do tutorials. You could actually.
I'm a marketing consultant. This is what I do. And I've helped people develop their programs. I've given them advice on whatnot. I'd be more than happy to help people.
You should definitely. I just think you could help a lot of people. And at the same time, you would kind of venture into a new kind of business way, another means of making money for yourself. You know what I mean?
Well, that's lumpia. Oh, Brian, don't tell people about the lumpia, man. No, that's what I do now, Dean. Okay. That's what I've been doing with 14 Media Group as a marketing consultant.
Good for you. I hope it works out. I really do. I think what you're doing it would be so beneficial to people who are not as business savvy, like me.
The way my mentality on how to do business is to give first. And one of my former business partner asked me, like, what's your secret to success? And I tell him it's a 2,000-year-old secret. And like, ooh, what's that? I'm like, and it's seek ye first the kingdom of his God and his righteousness, and everything else will follow upon it. Right? Mm-hmm. If Jesus was running a tournament, this is the way he would run the tournament. Make it one price for everybody and free for spectators.
Right.
I truly believe that. If Jesus was running it, that's the way he would run a tournament.
Yeah.
He's all about giving back. But the idea of giving back is also the idea of getting a lot back in return.
Right. No, I'm not disagreeing with anything you're saying.
Think about how Filipinos feed people. Right? Filipinos it come from a society of need, meaning that we're not, we don't come from a society where we have too much stuff, right? In a society of need. This is why Filipinos have large families, and we have related to people that we're not really related to. Like, oh, that's your aunt now. How's she your aunt? I met her at Seafood City 20 minutes ago. She's your aunt now. I'm like, okay, she's my aunt, right? Whatever. Her kids are now my cousins. I don't care, right? Because the idea here is that it's a community that survives, not the individual. If you bring one dish and another person brings another dish, then we have two dishes.
Yeah.
Right? Anybody who's ever been to any Filipino party, you know that one, you're going to get fed, right? And you're going to get fed well. You're not leaving without bringing home food.
Yeah.
Right? There was more than enough food for everybody. It's the same mentality. The more you share, the more it comes back to you.
No, I don't. Yeah, you got to do something with this. You got. I think you could help a lot. I think you could help a lot of people that maybe don't know. I don't know how to go about like making more, how to have a good business plan. I think you could help a lot of people that maybe are offering a great product, but just don't know how to go about it in a good business mindset. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, like one of the things I told one of my clients, they were the same way. They don't feel like they should charge that much. And I said, first of all, you can, because your skills is phenomenal, right? Number two, if a student says, let's say you're charging $150 a month, just throwing a number out there, right? But a student says, Guru, I really can't afford $150. Is there any way you can do that? So my next question to my client, what is your bare minimum that you need to make, right? And they say $75, right? So then you can go to that same student and say, you know what, I'll just charge you $100 a month. They're saving $50. You're not losing. You're getting a little bit, right? But you're still not losing. That's the most important thing there. And now you have a student that has a debt of gratitude that they can never repay.
Right.
And they're grateful for it, right?
Yeah.
Because $100, I mean, $25 of a profit is better than zero profit.
They're having nothing and now having that student. Sure. Right.
Exactly. Yeah. And because of that student is going to stay with you the longest because they're grateful for what you've done for them. Now, I always tell your student, like, if your finances change, let's bring it back up.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But hey, I'm doing this now, but things change for you. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, especially in the year that we just had, that students that just couldn't keep the training. And I said, well, like, how much can you afford? Maybe I can afford $75, Guru. All right, then just make it 40.
Yeah.
They're like, really? I'm like, yeah, it's fine. Right? I got a roof over my head, clothes on back, food, stomach. We're good. Right? Yeah. My basic needs are answered. Yeah. Right? But now I've made a friend for life. A brother.
Yeah, somebody who like really appreciates what we did. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I like that's been me for. Oh, brother! But I don't say like, hey, things change.
Yeah, things change. Bring it back, and thankfully, many of them did change, right? And they're like, oh, yeah, we can go back to the original. If you want, you can charge a little bit more. That's fine. Just go back to the original.
No, that's awesome. Those are stories I'd love to hear. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's just there's so much out there. We don't have to fight for the little ones.
I know. And I just hope that territorial, and that the backstabbing because you're trying to get, like, it happens here in Connecticut, and it's just like, you got to be kidding me, man. Are you serious? I mean, really? It's just, and these are people that don't even live close to me.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know what else to do. I try. So.
I know. That's all. You know what? That's all you can do is try. That's all. And then like I'm very comfortable looking in the mirror. Like I try to make, I try to like do joint things with these guys and all that.
Right.
So yeah. So I'm good.
Always check your finances.
Yes, Brian. Yes, always, Brian. That's
I actually, yes and no. Yes and no. I think you got to check how much you really want it over your finances.
Yeah. See that,
because
Brian?
It's a cost of benefit ratio.
Hey, Kavan.
We were just talking about you.
Yeah.
You're umiinig na sa tenga mo, man. Your ears must have been burning. So
that's it. All right. So what? Okay. Let's. This has been wonderful. Future
Thank you.
goals for you, school, future business endeavors. You got an event coming up. Let's
Yes,
hear.
I do have an event coming up. Thank you for allowing me to plug this. I have in
Sure.
Olympia, Washington, with Rising Tide Karate and Renegade Combatives, sponsored by MandoCore.com. They make the best lightsaber and Tack Knife. They're one of the guys that are the best.
Chat. Oh, I love that company.
TackKnife.com. They make one of the best trainer swords and everything. So thank you for that. We're hosting the Big Boy Escrimador's Method Madness seminar on September 25th. So if you're in that area, if you're in Olympia, Seattle, Tacoma, Washington area, or further, you can go there too, right? We're hosting a seminar on September 25th. It's from 12 to 6 p.m. You can find them at Rising. You can sign up at risingtidekarate.com. So September 20th, please. Spaces are limited. There's only 30 spots. We already have people signing up, so sign up now before there's no more. And then if you sign up at the early bird price, you're going to get a T-shirt as well. If you wait too long, not only is it going to be more expensive, you're not going to get a T-shirt. That's why we call it the Angry Bird price. So that's so sign up for the early bird as soon as possible at risingtidekarate.com.
Yeah, and by all means, post that in FMA discussion whenever you want to.
I definitely will. And and then as far as FMA school is concerned, like I said, we're growing. We're very, very blessed. I'm very humbled by all of the outpouring of people to train with me. Very, very blessed by that. You can find us at fmaschool.com. Like I said, I'm imploring everybody here on the FMA discussion, if you guys have a commercial real estate agent that you know of in my area, a California agent, please help me out, because I'm trying to find a commercial site. Ironically, the moment I tell martial arts, they don't even want to talk to me anymore, right? And it's crazy because from day one, I'd be generating revenue, not day 30 or day 90.
Yeah.
I'm an established business that's going to just move into a new place, but nobody wants to talk to me. So, you're always busy, brother, but I'm glad you're here, Bun. Anyway, so that's what FMAschool.com. We're in Riverside and in Orange County, Southern California. And of course, the seminar on September 25th, risingtidekarate.com.
All right. Well, this has been absolutely wonderful. I really appreciate you coming on. I'm glad. I'm glad Doug made the reference. I'm glad I reached out, and we've been talking and friends on Facebook now, and I appreciate what you're doing for the community.
Thank you. I try.
Yeah, I know you do more than try. So, hopefully, you don't become a stranger, and
for sure.
I'd like to get you back on, maybe a class, and showcase a class you do.
Sure. Yeah. No. I did one for Escabo Daan last year, and what I did was I had my laptop, and then I had my handheld gimbal with my cell phone attached. So we had two camera perspective of what's going on. So we can do something.
Yeah.
So me and my students have already planned on how to do online.
Oh, that's good, because one thing I want to cover into is live events and live classroom settings, so people can actually see what the person is doing and all that. So definitely, I would like to cover that.
I'm open-minded. Thanks, brother.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, so stay in touch. Please continue to post an FMA discussion.
I will. Once at least twice a week.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, you take care, man. Be good. All right, that was a good one. A lot of insightful thoughts and all that, and hopefully he can help people in the business model in FMA. Which we definitely need. We need a complete overhaul in the business structure, and I hold myself accountable for that as well, or a bit, in my case, lack thereof. Who is coming up next? 7 and 8. Julius has got somebody Saturday and Sunday. So this weekend, definitely kind of a doubleheader, both on each day. And then we got a gap and all that. So I'm going to fill the gap between the 8th and 15th with a few people. And I'll let you know who they are. But definitely, some other stuff definitely coming down, as far as there's, we got a couple theme episodes, schools that just do FMA. We're covering that. And a couple others, and all that. So good stuff coming there. But this weekend, if you're around, check out Julius. He's got something again on the 7th and 8th. I'm sure he'll be getting a flyer generated soon for those. I'll have to actually message him on that. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to FMA Discussion on YouTube. Remember, the money that we get, matter of fact, we haven't hit the $100 mark, which we start getting money, but the moment we do, that's all going to charity. All right. So the more we get subscribers and more views we get on the channel, you're not helping me, you're not any of the moderators. We're giving it to charity, okay, over there. So you're helping people over there, okay? All right, folks, thank you, and I will see you next time.